Okay, good evening, everyone. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So we don't have any special programming tonight. Our special programming from tonight got moved to next week, so we get double special programming next meeting. Yay! So next meeting we'll be having Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, as well as the Vice President of the Purdue Research Foundation, Rich Michael. So lots of special programming for all of next week. But I think it'll work out well since we have such a long agenda tonight. So first we'll start with the call of order. So any proxy reports? Yes.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Baranski, and I am here on behalf of Senator Iyengar.
Okay, thank you. Nice to have you back, former Senator Baranski. Do we have any other proxies online? Also, for those of you who are online, we're having a little bit of difficulty with the audio, but
I don't think they can hear or see us.
Oh, okay. If you're online, can you give us like a thumbs up?
Are there any proxies?
I don't see any names that I don't recognize. Okay, so
Okay, you can't hear Nathan or see Nathan though, right?
Okay. Can you hear me, Olivia? She won't know to answer because she can't hear me. What'd she say?
Wait, I'm going to mute myself and let us know if you can hear this, okay?
Can you hear me, Olivia? Hello?
I can't hear anything.
Okay, thank you. I'll
Okay.
be keeping you guys updated through chat.
Wait, so they can't,
both.
so maybe you should be unmuted.
Just keep me unmuted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me if Riley's unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that. Okay. Seeing no further proxy reports, we'll move into roll call.
Senator Wyrick.
Oh, here.
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 Okay. Senator Hockenberry.
Here?
Senator Leichen? Legion? Was that right? Lachine. Okay, thank you. Senator Iyengar. Oh, you got the proxy. Senator Dodonna.
Here.
Senator Chris.
Here.
Senator Beatty. I don't see her online. Unless she's iPhone. Who's iPhone? Okay. Yeah. Senator Bofdas.
Here.
Senator Pia. I butcher it every time. I can't roll my R's. Piara. Okay, thank you. Senator Jha. Senator Jha. Senator Griffin Little.
Here.
Senator Davis.
Here.
Senator Reed.
Here?
Senator Cabrera.
Here.
Senator Kim.
Here.
Senator Grisham. Senator Light.
Here.
Senator McDaniel.
Here.
Senator Stowe. Senator de Guzman. Senator Coffin.
Here.
Senator Reynolds.
Here.
Senator Lennon.
Here.
Senator Natur.
Here.
Senator Kopp.
Here.
Senator Siobhan.
Here.
Senator Shai.
Here.
All right, that's it. Thank you, guys.
We'll now move into the introduction of visitors. So I know we have a couple of visitors in the back. If you just want to make sure you push down the mic and just give your name and reason for being here.
Hi, my name is Talha Ahmed, and I'm here for Resolution 2074.
Thank you.
Emily Prim with the Exponent.
Thank you. We'll now move into the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by senators. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Purpose. I pledge allegiance Our purpose is to be the voice We will now move into the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Okay, seeing none, the minutes are approved as distributed. Now move into executive reports. President Gilmore.
Hello, friends. So good to see you back in person this week. A few announcements today. Hannah and I were fortunate enough to be amongst the first Purdue students vaccinated at our center yesterday morning. So very, very thankful for the opportunity. But that is to say, it was really a test run to make sure the facility was up and running for all of you. We want to encourage as many before you all return home. Our last session, there was a question about international students, out-of-state students. Everybody within the Purdue community is eligible, and Purdue has declared that they are prioritizing students in this case because professors, our faculty and staff were eligible elsewhere, and so this focused effort is really on students. So if you have any questions, comments, or other, please do let me know. But also, please, in your own communities, to your own constituents, please let them know. If you go, earlier you go, the easier it is to avoid the second dose before finals. I know that's a big concern. But they have doses that are what's the word? That won't expire until July. They ordered 25,000. It was confirmed today. So please go get your vaccine and encourage others to do so as well. The search for the CAPS director is ongoing, and they're looking for input from students about question or interview questions that you would like to see asked. Right now, Kyle Kittleson is our interim director. Dr. Prieto Welch was our former director, and so I sit on that committee, and we'll be putting a thread on Slack. But if you have any other feedback or questions, or when you do an interview here at Purdue, sometimes presentation, and so right now they're thinking about vision for CAPS. Purdue in the future is one of the topics, but if you have something else, and again, interview questions that you think, please do let me know. Finally, our bowl brunch is on Saturday. We are so excited. I saw a lot of your names that registered and also applied for our award, and so awardees will be given their award on Saturday. We have our beautiful lunch boxes from Sweet Revolution available on Friday. If you did not sign up but are in PSG and would like to attend, please send me an email. We're so excited. Roxanne Gay, phenomenal, will be speaking. We also are giving away her book and a lot of other really cool things to participants. So for those of you attending, thank you so much. And if you'd still like to, please shoot me a message either via email or Slack. I think that's all I got.
Okay, just a couple things from my end. I know we're going to be discussing the resolution from the Educational Policy Committee officially to give the opinion of the undergraduate students tonight, but there's also a full proposal. It's very long. It's like 15 pages that I have been asked to get student feedback on. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send that out, and then you'll have the opportunity to make comments on it, and then all of this feedback is going to be anonymized and sent back to the provost office. So I'll be sending that out later today so you can provide some feedback. I think you have about 2 weeks on that. And then I have 3 spots left for the union tour tomorrow, happening at 5:30. It should be a lot of fun. You get to wear a hard hat and a vest, see the renovation updates down on the ground floor, and then there's also going to be a short presentation. And so I got to see this presentation a couple weeks ago, and there's even more detail and renderings than the pictures that Director Zhang Reef was able to show us a few weeks ago. So if you're interested, there's 3 spots left. Please let me know. We'd be happy to have you. And then just another reminder that our PSG banquet is April 23rd. So I hope you all filled out the survey. Really excited to see you there. We're going to have dinner, a little celebration. There's going to be gifts for everyone. So just be on the lookout for more details about that, but make sure you have your calendar marked. Any other executive reports? Yes, Chief of Staff.
Okay, so our last BOD is next week, and we will have 2 special programming events. One will be Sustainability Committee has been working on their recycling report for the City of West Lafayette. So if you are interested in that, please come. And if you are also interested in attending a training hosted by the LGBTQ Cultural Center, they will be helping us learn about how to use pronouns in settings, whether that's professional or social. So I think this is a really great way to finish off the semester and really relevant as well. And also, Engagement is hosting the Thank an Educator project, which Asada has mentioned several times, but it ends on the 9th. And they've been tabling all week, so you can go and scan a QR code there. I actually filled one out last night for my professor. She's doing our capstone project. Amanda, we have the same class together, Professor Shrivastava. And I just said something like, she makes us feel really comfortable talking, and we're talking about really big topics like big tech, COVID, sustainability, the Syrian civil war. So those are really complex topics for college students to discuss. And just thanking her and saying, and recognizing how comfortable she makes us feel talking in class, which is really helpful for political science students. And finally, this weekend on Saturday, there is a West Lafayette Stop Asian Hate rally at West Lafayette City Hall. If you've never been, it's the Morton Center, which is right in front of Freshie and Maru Sushi, so it's really close to us. It looks like it's going to rain that day, so if you want to attend, please bring an umbrella. Asada will be making a statement on my behalf, and also there will be just so many community members there, so please attend if you can. And there's another flyer on social media on our Instagram if you wanted to look at that. And that is it for me.
Thank you. Any other executive reports? Or anyone online as well?
Yeah, Know Your Rights Week is going on right now. So
Okay, go get your chips from court this week. Pro Temp Griffin Little.
Just a couple quick announcements. One, make sure you're keeping up with your Senate duties. Check the Excel sheet to make sure that you're following up with everything. Second, I just wanted to quickly walk through how to submit legislation to me, just because I know we have a couple of new senators and there's mix up. So basically you will just want to send me the copy of the bill or resolution in an editable format, so either a Google Doc or a Word doc, and say that you are officially submitting this for committee review. I don't have a specific date in which you have to do that by. I would say about a week or so minimum before the next meeting, just so that there's enough time for committee review. However, there's not a specific deadline. It's just that committees meet at different times of different parts of the week, so we just need time for them to be able to review it. So after that, I will send it to committee review. They will vote on it and then send it back to me, either passed or failed or with some edits, and then it will go to be voted on by the full Senate. So that's just how it works. Just make sure you're explicitly saying that you're submitting it for review, or if you just want me to look at it and do edits, just say that, but be sure to let me know when you officially want it to be sent to committee review. So those are all my updates.
Thank you. Any other executive reports? Awesome. And as a reminder, next Senate meeting is our last meeting. So if you have any legislation, you need to get it to Pro Tem Griffin Little very soon if you'd like it to be discussed during this session. Okay, seeing no other executive reports, we will move into committee reports. Are there any committee reports? So internal affairs.
Internal Affairs has continued to work on getting some kind of internal survey addressing the underrepresentation issue that was brought up a few weeks ago. We have a pretty good list of questions and answers that we're going to send to the Strategic Planning and Assessment Committee very soon. If anybody has some interesting ideas, or again, if anyone has any opinions out on any of these questions or things they would like to see included, please reach out to me sooner rather than later.
Thank you. And then Alex, we'll talk offline, but do you think maybe you'd be able to come to my office hours next week to talk about the Constitution updates? Okay, perfect. Financial affairs.
Yeah, so FA has continued to be reviewing the PSG small grant applications, as well as sort of talking a lot about writing our transition documents on recommendations, the things we've learned from this process, and hopefully possibly carrying it on to next year. The last deadline for this is this upcoming week. We normally meet on Tuesdays. So if you or someone you know wants to submit an application, please do so by then.
Ellie, can you tell me how many grants we've given away or how many are in flux right now?
I believe we've given away 4 grants as of currently.
Thank you.
Thank you. CSRA.
CSRA, we're drafting our resolution now and hopefully get that on the floor soon.
Okay, thank you. And then finally, UAA.
Thank you. UAA has no new updates at this time, but if anyone knows a student athlete that they think would like to meet with us, I've been reaching out to a few, but no one is really available or responding. So if you know someone that would like to come, well, he's already talked to us about stuff, but yes, I would love to talk to them.
Awesome. Maybe Leonie? Maybe Leonie?
Oh yeah, no, I can stronghold a few athletes for you, no problem.
Okay. No worries there. All right, we'll now move into informal discussion. Is there any informal discussion at this time? All right, we'll go with President Gilmore and then Senator Dodona.
Just on behalf of Mental Health Action Week Ad Hoc Committee, we are full speed ahead in terms of our Boiler Wellness Ambassador program. We had 15 students apply and accept today. And so we're working with the Office of the Dean of Students, specifically Julie Cox, to decide when everyone's going to be trained together. The Purdue HR department has also recruited 15 extra staff members. And so that's all good. We did have a little hiccup in terms of the University Senate, but our legislation will hopefully be hitting the floor in their April meeting. In terms of the Boilermaker Support Network, we are in Lux. We have our directors and the contract is being drafted right now. And so as soon as it's signed, we'll be full speed ahead. We're working with NAMI and they did receive their SOGA grant. So have funding for the opportunity, have a lot of students that signed up and were interested. So everything looks good. We had our last meeting last Sunday and really, really excited for Veronica Reynolds to continue on in the future.
So as a lot of you know, there is the Senate Committee game night that's happening on Saturday from 1 to 4 in Walk. It should be super fun. There's going to be a lot of different games and prizes and cupcakes, so please come. It should be a lot of fun.
Do I have to be like a Senate member to come get a cupcake?
No, not at all.
I'll be there, girl.
And they're good cupcakes, making that point.
Okay, any other informal discussion? Yes, Secretary Gill. Okay, we'll make sure that we talk loudly. Okay, yeah, keep us updated on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, seeing no other informal discussion, we'll move into old business. Do I hear any old business? Senator Reed.
I'd like to make a motion to bring up Bill 2068.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up Bill 2068, a bill to enhance the effectiveness of ad hoc committees through increased communication. This is the second reading of this bill, so we'll start with the authors. So Senator Ferguson or Dodona, if you'd like to start. Senator Dodona.
There's no new updates on this bill. It's basically everything that we covered before in terms of connecting ad hoc committees to Senate committees further.
Okay, we'll now move into discussion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll take a vote on Bill 2068, a bill to enhance the effectiveness of ad hoc committees through increased communication. All those in favor, if you could please raise your name placards, and those online, if you are able to raise your hand. Muhammad and Kiara, I think we're just missing your votes.
Yeah, vote support, yeah.
Okay. All right, all those opposed, same sign. Okay, and any abstentions? All right, with a vote of 23-1-0, Bill 2068 passes. Do I hear any other old business? Senator Daytona. It's been properly motioned to bring up Bill 2069, an amendment to Article 3 of the Senate Standing Rules of Purdue Student Government. So again, we'll start with Senator first and Senator Daytona, then move into discussion. Senator Daytona.
Again, nothing has changed in this bill. It basically adds ad hoc committee updates into our order of business.
Thank you. Do I hear any discussion from the floor? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, please raise your name placards. All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? All right, with a unanimous vote, Bill 2069 passes. Okay, do I hear any other old business? Yes, Senator Chris.
Motion to bring up Bill 2070.
All right, it's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up.
Wait, can you mute yourself up there?
The audio's working? I would say so. Okay. Yay. Okay, awesome. Bill 2070, bill to extend the duration of ad hoc committees. So, Senator Ferguson.
Yeah, there's no new updates to this. It's just to extend the timeline up to 4 years if an ad hoc so chooses.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, please raise your name placards. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, any abstentions? All right, with a vote of 23-1-0, Bill 2070 passes. All right, any other old business? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into new business. Do I hear any new business? Senator Reed, then Senator Chris.
I'd like to make a motion to bring up Bill 2071.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up Resolution 2071, PSG Senate opinion of the proposed January term. So the authors of this bill are the University Senate Educational Policy Committee, which Millie and I both serve on as the undergraduate student representatives. So I guess we together can help introduce the bill to the Senate. So I can start. So basically, this is an exact replica copy of what the Faculty Senate discussed during their March meeting, and it's going to be officially voted on during this upcoming April meeting. So it very generally just lays out the support for the January term. But like I mentioned earlier, there is a comprehensive report that's currently in the process of being put together and getting feedback on. So this resolution is really just the more general sense and support of the January term. And the University Senate has said that they're going to start here and then move into working out some more of the logistical details if this is something that the faculty would like to see. So with that, Senator Draw, if you have anything to add, and then we'll move into discussion.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move into discussion. Yes, Senator Reed.
I have a question for the chair. So you mentioned that there will be a comprehensive report coming out soon. What good does it do to vote on this now when all the details still aren't really settled yet, and we'll have that in a few weeks?
That is a question other people have also asked, but this is like the process that currently they are taking. I guess, you know, coming up with a comprehensive report, there's a lot of details that haven't been worked out yet that are going to take a lot of time. So they're first wanting to gauge if this is something that people would want before releasing all of those details, but definitely understand your point that it's a little bit hard sometimes to vote on something when you don't know how it will explicitly affect you. But the generalities of like how the course schedule will work, as well as the changes to the terms of the semesters, those have all been set in stone. I think the more logistical things that they're still working out is really the pay for the graduate students and the faculty members at this time. Yes, Senator Reynolds.
I know that we sent out a survey for students, but do you know the timeline for the survey that I know is being in the works for faculty? Do you know if it was sent out already or if it ended or anything like that?
I don't know anything about a faculty survey, do you?
I'm not sure. The University Senate has yet to put out any survey to faculty, at least through that form. I know that we did discuss it in President's Advisory Council, and there is a similar resolution that was discussed 2 weeks ago, but there has yet to be a formal survey sent out.
And our survey was only to undergraduate students.
It was actually to undergraduate professionally and graduate students.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Senator Reed?
I have a question on the general proposal. I don't know if anyone in this room can answer, but one of the people that it mentions they talked to was the Director of Financial Aid. But personally, I didn't see any language in the document talking about financial aid. Do we have any indication of how that will be covered, if it'll operate in a similar way as, you know, Maymasters or something like that? Or anything about that?
Yeah, so I would say what's in that third whereas clause for the proposal is what they've released, that link. But from my understanding is that they're going to offer financial aid for J-term, a little bit similar to May term. J-term and May term, that's very much the same. But they're going to package it with the spring semester. So the students would receive a combined financial aid package that would cover the J-term as well as the spring term. Something about how they can only distribute financial aid like 3 times a year, so that's why they're going to lump it together. So I think there's also some plans for some sort of similar sort of scholarships like May as well. Senator Reynolds?
This is just information that I've learned in the Student Affairs University Senate Committee. Do you know, because you said you mentioned that they're starting to work on like the logistics of like payment for TAs and faculty, but do you know if they started anything on housing arrangements for the J-term?
To my understanding, the students wouldn't, if they have a university residence, at this time they're not planning to charge extra to stay in the residence hall, but there is going to be an additional fee for meals.
Okay, thank you. And then is this also like a similar version of this going to graduate student government or like We First?
It would be up to the graduate representative, so I don't think that they have officially like discussed it as a body yet.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Bonnet.
I'll yield 2 minutes to the president.
Thank you, Senator Bonnet. I did just want to remind everyone that we invited Vice Provost Chris Davis to our Board of Directors meeting, along with Dean Underwood, who answered a lot of the questions that were being asked right now in a discussion. And although some of those details have changed, a lot of that, the system or things are still the same. And so I would recommend that everyone go and watch the video that was placed on YouTube of that session, and just remind you that we had an opportunity to ask a lot of these questions.
Is there any other discussion? Senator Reed?
I just have one last question, and Although yes, to address some of the stuff the president said, we did have a lot of these questions answered, but I just think there is kind of a point in bringing that up now as we are voting on the resolution. So my last question, I promise. One of the things that the proposal document mentions is that there will be no loss of content with this change, and that the courses will still cover the exact same material. It mentions that there will be appropriate modifications, but I was just wondering if we've had any indication from faculty if that is actually going to be appropriate modifications, or if they're just shifting the time frame of things, still the same number of homework assignments, lectures, and everything like that.
Yeah, I think that's been a big detail that has been a concern since there is going to be losing a week. They referred a lot to the Impact X teaching resources that they have that they're going to use to help some of the professors remodel some of the classes. But yeah, some of the classes are definitely going to maybe have to be restructured, and the time frame of the classes is not scheduled to change. Like, the class periods will remain the same amount. We'll just be losing that extra week of instructional time. So yeah, I don't know if there's they've given a clear answer to that. I think they're kind of leaving it up to each faculty member to determine how they would restructure their class. Is there any other discussion? Okay. So seeing none, we will take a vote on this resolution. So all those in favor of the PSG Senate opinion on the proposed January term, could please raise your name placards. Anyone online? All those opposed, same sign. Hold on, I'm going to write this one down. Any abstentions? I think I might have missed. Oh, are these abstentions? Okay, let me tally this up real quick. Okay, it looks like a vote of 5 to 10 to 11, resolution 2071 fails. Do I hear any other new business? Yes, Senator Chris?
Motion to bring up Bill 2073. Resolution 2072, sorry.
All right, it's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up Joint Resolution 2072, a resolution in support of graduate and family housing at Purdue. So we'll start with some discussion from authors. I don't know, Senator Shai, do you have anything that you'd like to start with?
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I am also an RA within Purdue Village. This was brought to my attention as soon as the email was sent out. So the big concern here is just that this is a big relocation and there's not a whole lot of opportunities available for students that are displaced. This is relocating communities, families, children will have to change school districts. This affects a lot of graduate students and TAs and their families. I feel like almost everyone knows somebody at Purdue Village at this point. This is also a really big issue that it affects a lot of our non-traditional students, so our married undergraduate students as well as undergraduate students with families, regular graduate students and graduate students with families as well. But this is just a very large effort, and we need more options for our students to turn to when Purdue Village is gone.
Yeah, so to give a brief history, back in March, I myself am a current resident of Purdue Village. There was an email sent out, so this was after the renewal period for the leases, saying that a certain number of buildings, I think it's 12 or 13, I always forget which one, are going to be decommissioned, demolished, and so that those residents would have to relocate. They did guarantee those residents all a spot in the relocating buildings and provided a small stipend for moving, but this was very unexpected as they were not planning to have these buildings initially torn down, at least for this upcoming academic school year. And then the final phase of the decommissioning of Purdue Village is slated for the following summer, so summer of 2022, and then that will be the end of the final buildings. And then we conducted a survey of the current Purdue Village residents. So Amanda and myself, as well as some graduate student representatives and a few representatives who are students currently living in Purdue Village, helped write the survey. And so that was attached at the end of this, and there's also some highlights in one of the whereas clauses. But I think it's pretty notable that 61% of the Purdue Village residents live with family, as well as the majority of the residents have at least one or more dependents, so people who they are supporting who don't bring in an income. So this is really going to affect the students, especially as the new housing that is going to be up is obviously not going to be able to be close to the price that is currently being offered, because that current price has been frozen for the past 10 years. So the plan for the current section, via some conversations I had last week with Director Weinkoop as well as Vice President Michael, is that they had to make the change quickly because a hospital is going to be built in the area. They originally thought the hospital was going to be built in the area by Follett's, but the hospital picked the location closer to the airport, obviously for transportation, helicopters, etc. So that's why the relocation came so last minute, and they are looking into options to build some new graduate and family housing, but again, those plans haven't been fully confirmed yet. So with that, we'll open it up to discussion from the floor. Senator Bonnet.
I yield 2 minutes to the president.
Thank you, Senator Bonnet. I just wanted to say I'm in full support of this resolution, and also just wanted to highlight the amazing and hard work that all of our authors have done on this legislation, but also on the ground in terms of distributing the petition, in terms of going to these meetings and speaking with all of these people. They represent a very large constituency, and I know that this resolution is also being passed through graduate student government as well, and Nunez is in full support as well. So just wanted you to know that there have been several hours of hard work behind this piece of legislation.
All right, is there any further discussion? Yes, Pro Temp Griffin-Little.
I also want to echo my support for this resolution. I think it's very unfortunate that Purdue has continued to go forth with decommissioning the only on-campus housing for graduate and non-traditional students who are often not considered in plans that affect their families and dependents. And I'm very grateful that both Vice President Dar and Amanda and everyone else decided to go forward with this, and I'm excited to see what it does with graduate student government as well. So.
If there's any discussion or any just clarifying questions that you have, I know it's a lot easier for Senator Shai and I to talk about because we live there, but if something doesn't make sense, we're also happy to answer that as well. Okay, seeing no further discussion, we'll move into a vote on Resolution 2072. So all those in favor, if you could please raise your name placards. All those opposed, same sign. And any abstentions? Okay, with a unanimous vote, Resolution 2072 passes. I guess I should have also provided an update that talking to Vice President Michael last week, he was pretty open to having a student representative help with the plans for the new housing, kind of similar to the union. And we're working on getting the extension for the housing. I think it's a possibility just contingent on some of the plans for the upcoming hospital. So is there any other new business? Yes, Senator Dona.
Motion to bring up Bill 2773.
It's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up Bill 2073, addition of land acknowledgement to order of business. So we'll start with discussion from the author, Pro Temp Griffin Little, and move into discussion from the floor.
Hi, everyone. So Shannon and then Nafisa both came to me asking if we could include a land acknowledgement in our order of business. I know BOD is transitioning to this, as well as there is debate about adding it to University Senate as well. It's currently in the EDC committee. So there is a sort of Purdue transitioning towards including land acknowledgements, and I think it's a great idea. The one that I have in this bill, I pulled from the Native American Educational and Cultural Center, so that's the one that is included there. You feel free to take a look. I think it's really well encompassing, and you know, it's a great land acknowledgement. So it would just go in right after the introduction of visitors and before the pledge of purpose, right into the order of business and the standing rules. So, if there are any questions?
Thank you. Is there any discussion from the floor? Senator Bonnet.
It was brought up at caucus. We wanted to know whether this has been in schools, and while I think that's a valid question, I also think it's important to note that it's not wrong for us to try to be on the forefront of something and make the change first. So I'm in full support of this, and I really think that we should get behind this.
Any other discussion? Yes, Senator Hoffer.
I yield a minute to the president.
Thank you, Senator Hopper. Did you all get your question answered about the Big Ten? No. Because I know for at least the one school I do know that does this is University of Michigan, and I also believe Penn State. And I don't know if it's simply during their Senate or whatever they call it, something that's called their House sessions, but I do know that they partake in a land acknowledgement before their student government body meets together.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into a vote on Bill 2073. All those in favor, if you could please raise your name placards. All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. With a vote of 25-01, Bill 2073 passes. Do I hear any other new business? Senator Reynolds.
Motion to bring up Resolution 2074.
It's been properly motioned and seconded to bring up Resolution 2074, a resolution to address virtual proctoring procedures. So we'll start with the authors of this bill and then move into discussion from the floor. Senator Buftas, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, so basically the gist of this resolution is to try to get at the idea that there are certain approaches to virtual proctoring that are not, as optimal as expected. And this resolution focuses specifically on applications such as Examity and Proctor.io, Respondus Lockdown, and ProctorU that have been used on campus since the summer of last year due to COVID. So the initial idea behind using these applications was to ensure that students wouldn't cheat and would make it and, facilitate the process of proctoring. However, there are several concerns with these softwares. Number one, they flag a lot of students unnecessarily. And number two, the bigger issue is that they are very invasive towards student privacy. In other words, what makes them different from applications such as Zoom is that it's not just a video conferencing application. these softwares such as Examity and whatnot, they actually can not only they store your data and are able to actually embed themselves into the operating system of the computer or the tech device that the student may use if they're taking an exam online. So the whole point of this resolution is to hopefully aim at discontinuing the use of these invasive applications, but at the same time to provide legitimate alternatives towards virtual proctoring approaches.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Tala Ahmed, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I'd also like to add there are a number of other negatives that are also mentioned in the resolution, but I will list just a few. I'll give you the example of these sorts of softwares have increased student stress and anxiety levels, and I actually had a professor in my class who discontinued the use of proctoring for like webcam proctoring for that reason, because students were reporting feeling stressed while taking their exam. If you read in the newspapers, there are cases of a student was too afraid to go to the bathroom because the software doesn't let you go to the bathroom while you're taking the test, that they ended up throwing up while taking the exam. There are also HIPAA violation problems with these sorts of remote invigilation softwares. There was a case where a student who had Tourette's syndrome started having a tic during the exam, and many of these softwares use third-party people to watch students while they're taking a test, which if you're having a medical episode during your exam and people that you'll never meet are seeing you during this medical condition, that's a violation of HIPAA. Furthermore, this can amplify amplify differences and disparities between students because oftentimes, students will have to show the room that they're in, and they might not feel comfortable sharing because it might convey information about their socioeconomic status, for example. And then the big thing is that while all these softwares are around trying to supposedly stop students from cheating, it's actually quite easy for students to circumvent this sort of software in the first place. For example, you could put a paper where the camera couldn't see it. Or it can lead to technologic arms race where students with better methods of circumventing the software are able to get ahead, and it just kind of punishes students who don't do that. And then, Mohammed mentioned the flagging issues. Many of these softwares have been found to artificially flag students who weren't cheating, so essentially put them in a state where you're accused of being a cheater until your professor goes through the footage and pardons you. And a lot of times, these softwares also use facial recognition, so there's sort of data privacy concerns around that. And actually, with the facial recognition softwares that are used by these exams, facial recognition softwares used by these programs, a lot of times the facial recognition might recognize people of certain ethnicities or races, flagging them more than others just because of how the facial softwares work. So there's all these sorts of concerns around this sort of software, which is why we have this resolution here.
Thank you. Senator Bonnet?
I will also note, just as a future educator, I'm going to pull the teacher card. It's really not that difficult to design exams that make it so that you are evaluating your students in the same manner without using these services. It is not that difficult to create a time limit, open-ended answers. There's a million ways to go about it that does not involve having to use this service to prevent cheating. So that's not a valid reason for them to need to use this in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, yes, we have a question on the chat. Senator Wyrick, go ahead.
Yeah, this was kind of highlighted a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to emphasize that these kinds of programs are especially targeting students who are neurodivergent on the spectrum. They're flagged a lot more often than other students. And, I anecdotally, I know people who have actually, had sit down conversations with their professors because it's become such an issue. And I think especially in this COVID world and how difficult this year has been, asking for this kind of grace is very necessary.
Any further discussion? Pro Temp Griffin Little.
I had a question for either of the authors. I was wondering if you could talk a bit about why these programs are more invasive than ones used in the past, as well as some of the like security or privacy concerns, and why maybe alternatives such as Zoom might be better for students.
So,
Sorry. Go ahead, Mohammed,
yes,
and then we'll let Tala go.
Applications like Zoom, all they access is your webcam and your and you can choose to share your screen. For applications like Examity, they kind of embed themselves into the operating system of either the computer, laptop, tablet that you're using. So, and they can also access more of your data from your computer than something like Zoom, for example, which makes it more invasive which makes softwares like Examity more invasive.
Go ahead.
And then, so to get more specific, so Examity is a software that you have to download, and what it'll do is it will shut off any other process, like any other program running on your computer other than Examity itself. So, and to do that, it requires certain privileges on your computer that most other programs or apps should not be having, because that level of access, especially for a closed source proprietary software, like you're basically asking people to trust this company that they're not doing anything wrong with this level of access. And a lot of times people might have custom programs that they run on their computer, and this will shut it off. There have been cases, for Examity's case, where students' settings on their computer have changed and they have to change them back after they run this program. Now, if you look at programs like Proctor.io, it's a Chrome extension, and you don't download that. But it's actually in some ways worse, because if you look at the permissions that it has, it can read all your browser history. It can read every website that you visit in your address bar. It can read like the names of like your email that, or contacts associated with your browser. And then of course there's I think Proctor.io specifically uses some sort of like, for example, cookies, which if someone's, I guess, living in the EU, that might be a sort of problem with the GDPR. But each of these softwares differs, but they've all been called out, especially these, Examity, Proctor.io, ProctorU, and Respondus Lockdown Browser. They've been called out by, it mentions in the resolution, some privacy organizations for their specific collection of data, and that's far excessive beyond what they should need.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into a vote on Resolution 2074. All those in favor, if you could please raise your name placards. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, with a unanimous vote of 26-0, Resolution 2074 passes. Okay, do I hear any other new business? Senator Chris.
I motion to bring up bills 2075 through 2080 for discussion and voting all at once.
All right, so you are moving to create a unanimous consent agenda? All right, I believe this requires a 2/3 vote. So all those in favor of creating a unanimous consent agenda for bills 2075 through 2078. So what you're voting on is that we will discuss and vote on all of these bills at once. So all those in...
Point of clarification?
Yes.
You just said bill 2078, I believe it should be 2079.
Oh, 2075 to 2080.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Okay, yep. Yes. All right, so we are taking a vote to form the unanimous consent agenda. So all those in favor of discussing and voting on all of these stipend bills at once, please raise your placards. Online. Okay. All those opposed, same sign. Any online? Okay. And any abstentions? Okay, let me add this up a sec. Okay, with a vote of 21-4-1, bills 2075 through 2080 are being moved into unanimous consent agenda. So at this time, we will move into discussion from the authors from these bills and then discussion from the floor. Senator Daytona.
Point of clarification, I'm sorry. We typically have to leave for all these bills. Do we still have, so do we all leave at the same time?
Yeah, we can all leave at the same time.
Okay, like now?
After discussion.
Yeah.
After discussion, then we'll share post-discussion.
But you have to leave too, right?
Yes. She appoints a new chair.
Gotcha.
Okay. Senator Daytona.
So the basic premise of the stipends bill is to just give the rewards that are previously promised in the budget to the people who they're previously allocated to, and making sure that they're upholding their constitutional obligations. Every single person that these bills are giving to absolutely does a fantastic job and surpasses the requirements that are needed in the Constitution. They all deserve a round of applause for all the great work they've done this year.
Patrick, I see that you want to clap. Okay. Is there any other discussion from the floor? Senator Bonnet.
Some of you are going to hate this, but I still want to brag on these people anyway, so we're going to do it. Let's start with Asada. President Gilmore. Literally, where to even begin? You are so amazing. You work so hard. You have so much passion, and you have inspired me so much about how to be a woman in leadership. It's just been such a pleasure to know you. Anna, same to you. It's been such amazing just to see these two women in leadership rise and do so many amazing things, and it's just been incredibly inspiring to know both of you so well. Let's make sure to everybody unleash Justice Elise Zaniker. I've known you since middle school, girl. This has been great. You have changed so much, but in the same time, not at all, and I'm so grateful that you are at the head of this, and I'm just really grateful that you chose to do this and we got to meet again. We're gonna skip pro tem. No, we'll do Alex Griffith. I'm so glad that you're choosing to volunteer to be a teacher for America. I think that's such a great and noble cause, and I'm so glad that you care about education as much as I do. You're gonna be a game changer in the world, and I'm so grateful that I get to say I knew you. Treasurer Greg Lindler, bro, answering my emails at all hours of the day without fail with every single question about money I could possibly have. So thank you for that.
He's not here, but I'm going to tell him he said that.
Yeah. And then Shannon King, literally words cannot describe how amazing you are. Your passion, your fire, your drive. You never give up on anything you want. You believe so much in yourself and everyone around you. And it's been incredible to have all of you representing PSG. Woo, that was a lot. Okay.
Yes, Pro Temp Griffin Little.
I'm going to be doing the same exact thing. First of all, the reason I was against this is because I wanted to brag on every single person here, so I'm just going to do it, and Evan's just going to have to sit and listen. Up first, President Gilmore. I am so grateful to consider Asada a great friend of mine, and I have just been so grateful to just be in your presence. I mean, look at you right now. You're totally stunting on all of us. But in honesty, you make PSG, you make me so proud to be a part of PSG, truly. And I am so grateful for everything you've done for the last 2 months. I don't even know how much longer we're here, Jesus. But I'm just so grateful to consider you a friend, and you've been one of the best presidents I've ever worked under. So, next, Vice President Dar. Oh my gosh. I feel like we've gone through our PSG journey together, and we started out as honors senators together, and it's just been uphill from there. I'm so glad I got to know you as a friend, and I am very grateful for your leadership. You've been honestly one of my favorite vice presidents. I'll say that with Asada here as well. you both, I'll say it best, all-female ticket. So, Elise, I'm so grateful I've got to know you over this year. You've been a great Chief Justice. You've done a great job with court, and I feel like I finally know what you guys do, which, that's a pro for Senate. And I'm excited for Know Your Rights Week this semester and everything. So you're doing a great job. I guess I'll skip over myself. Great job, Alex. Greg's not here, but Greg, I never know what's going on with money, and I really appreciate when people do and will tell you when you are spending too much money, because sometimes I don't know. And I'm grateful that someone here does. And lastly, Shannon, I truly don't know how you do it. You come to every single class. We have a class together right now, and I'm just like, wow, how are you here? How are you literally our representative? How are you our chief of staff? Like, how are you doing all this stuff? And I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so, grateful to see, what your future may be, however it goes. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just going to say this for everyone here, that PSG has been a really great time in my life, one of the, great experiences that I've gone through at Purdue, and I'm so grateful for everyone here. And yeah, I just couldn't not brag on everyone, so.
Wow. Senator Stowe. All right. Well, considering we only have 20 minutes of debate time, how about 19?
Wow. Well, thank you. I will take all 19. No, I'm just kidding. But I will keep it short and sweet. I know I don't do that very often. Each and every member, both getting stipends right now and just as a part of cabinet, you all have become my family. And quite often, you carry me when I think I can do longer. Alex, you are a superstar. You constantly challenge me to think bigger, to be better. You care so much about your job. Like, you're going to be such an incredible teacher, and seeing you go through that process, and hearing about your thesis, just letting me into your role in life has been such a blessing. Shannon, you're right next to me, so I'm going to go for you. Just like Alex, I don't know how you're so positive. I promise you, y'all, I'm in the worst mood sometimes. Like, I know I come here and be all like, but between as I am, and I can't enough, and also brighten. Getting a side pen, and I apologize, but you're fantastic. You sit up there, you clean the closet. You all watching Stewart? Is the best box, like hands down. Period. That was right. Yeah, you had your time. No. Thank you for the organization, Emily. What can I say? Emily called me, and sometimes again, shut down. Emily's like, "Girl, you're gonna listen to." Amazing representation of PSG, the light, and leading us in the right direction, and representing us. You speak on behalf all the time. I love that. I can't even do you with you. We'll talk later. JT, oh my gosh, JT, we've been through it all together. Thank you for continuing to be part of it. Thank you for with a 10-foot stick. You bring so much joy into our lives. I just had to out him. But so much love for you. And I'm because I don't really know what happens in court, but I know that Elise handled. So thankful for you. I know I am. Oh, Greg. And I would not be here without him because we'd be bankrupt. So all my nights, I said I wouldn't. for cabinet. I'm so grateful for, like, I don't think I can tell you, I'm religious, but this organization say that, and so I can't believe that our time is coming. So I'm going to stop talking.
Okay, any other discussion? Senator Reynolds.
Sorry.
We still have one more session, guys.
I just want to say shout out to all of cabinet because I feel like this is a really hard year, and we tried to keep the community PSG going. Like I know programming had a lot of work towards it, and like I know Senate committees we tried a lot to do this, but I feel like every time I was in office, a member of cabinet was there, and like cabinet really kept, for me personally, like the community of PSG alive. And then of course some individual shout outs. Alex, I really appreciate the meetings you set up for us, and how caucus ran. I feel like senators got really comfortable to meet and communicate with each other, and like I know I got close with a lot of people, and I really appreciate that, and close with you, and I really appreciate getting to know you, and sorry. And I know not all of you are graduating, but I know I can speak on behalf of like the younger generation of PSG. You guys are all I know in PSG. For my year and a half, we can round up to 2 years. In PSG, you guys are all I know, and I'm gonna miss you a lot. And I appreciate all the work that you've done for all of us, like leaving a great legacy. And I know Hannah and Asada, I have to shout you out really quick. Asada, you've definitely been my mentor this whole year, and both of you are very inspirational, and I hope to be just like you. And thank you for everything. We'll talk individually, but I had to shout out really quick. So thank you all. You are all inspirational, all of cabinet, and I really appreciate all of the work you all do.
Senator Chris.
All right, so I just want to clarify, I didn't want to diminish what everyone here has been doing this year, because I think everyone that is getting the stipends absolutely deserves it and has done a great job this year. I just wanted to get things moving with the voting and how long that takes usually. That's all. I didn't want to, but I don't want to diminish what everyone in this room's done.
Thank you. Anyone else? This is so sweet. Huh? Okay, I was trying to figure out how to do this properly. So I'm thinking we could move to suspend the rules, and then we could all leave, and you could pick someone. Does that sound good? Okay, the chair would entertain a motion to suspend the rules. So all those in favor, please raise your name placard. All right, all those opposed. Any abstentions? Okay. All right, so we have suspended the rules. So Robert's rules out the window. So we are all going to exit, and then Senator Bonnet, are you taking over? Yeah. Go Sammy. All right, I'm going to give you the mic. As a reminder, this vote you are casting is for Bills 2075 through 2078. Okay, you have to.
All right. This is fun. I actually really hate this. We're never doing this again. All right, all those in favor of bills 2075 through 2080, please raise your placards. I'm raising mine symbolically. All right, any opposed? Okay. Any abstentions besides Pro Tem Griffin Little? That'll be really fun to mock her about. All right, do I go get them, or do we just leave them out there? We're gonna go get them. Yeah, we're done, we're out. We didn't pass any of them. None of you are getting money.
We're coming. We just had to take a quick pic in the hallway.
That's really cute. You can't trust me with a microphone. It's unanimous. No abstentions.
Awesome. Okay.
Besides, I was going to read it.
All right. The chair would now entertain a motion to reinstate the rules. Nope. Okay. All right. Any announcements? Yeah. Senator Reynolds. Yeah. Shout it out.
I wanted to.
I called on Veronica.
Sorry, I just wanted to shout out our Divya, Merrill, and I, Polytechnic Senators, are putting on technically 2 events. One of them is a partnered event, but I'll put them in Slack after this. I don't have it's ready. I haven't advertised it yet in Slack, but one is actually tomorrow night and Friday morning. It's the Polytechnic, or not the Polytechnic Institute, the university is having a Pursuing Racial Justice speaker series, and we are going to be attending that live stream. Last time there was a lot of people attending. It was really good turnout. It was really cool. And then in the morning after, it's called Coffee and Conversations. The Polytechnic Institute puts on Coffee and Conversations where you talk about the speaker from the night before. So I can put an advertisement in the Slack about that. And then also on Monday, April 19th at 8 p.m., we're doing a joint event with the Polytech Student Council to talk about the Gateway Complex. If you guys know, it's like that big building they're building next to Noy. I know it's going to have Polytechnic classes and engineering classes, so if you're interested in talking about the student space specifically and like the labs that are going to be there and lounges and like utilities that are going to be in there, we're having a town hall about that, and I'll put that in Slack as well.
President Gilmore.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Veronica. I really just wasn't paying attention. 2 things. I want to clarify. Alex, why can't I remember your last name? Senator Reed. I had no intention. I did not mean to come off as being dismissive of your questions. I just wanted you all to know that there are more robust and thorough answers available. Don't always have the correct words or there are additional details, and so I wanted everyone to know that that is available. I also, we have no sort of feelings about how the resolution was voted on, but I do want to be able to go to administration and say this is exactly why. And so my understanding right now is that just didn't have enough information, have concerns about grad students, but if there's any other very specific reason why senators voted no, that's super helpful to know, so that when we present them with this is what happened, we can have things to back it up, and we can get those policies or guidelines changed so that it's something that represents what we're voting on. So if there's anything else, please let us know, because I don't just want to go and say, hey, we didn't like this. I would like to go and say, hey, this is why we didn't like, or the undergraduate students don't like this, and what can we do to make it better? Because, yeah, that's all I'll say. Second thing, thank an educator. Why is this important? We hear all the time, students, we get emails, but we talk about it here, of things in the classroom that do not work. Purdue wants to take the steps to be known as an institution that has great teachers. And so, unfortunately, not all of our professors are like Sammy or like Alex, right? They don't. And so we want to make sure that they have the tools that they need to get to that place. And so this is supposed to not only thank those educators, but also highlight to other professors that might not have the best teaching practices that this is what you can do. This is what your students are looking for in the classroom. So this is a really great opportunity to highlight those items without having to write a piece of legislation, without having to have a whole week. We're asking students to take 3 minutes out of their day. And so even if you can't table, which if you can, please sign up. We still have 2 more days. But even if you can't table, please take the survey and tell your constituents, because it's really, really important. This is something we talk about on a regular basis. So that's all I've got for you. Thank you.
Yes, Senator Ferguson.
Since Olivia's not here in person, I'm just going to give this on her behalf. Next week is Ag Week, and Ag Week Task Force is like a really big thing in the College of Ag. It's kind of showing different students not in the College of Ag what agriculture is and how important it is. There's going to be tons of events. I'm doing 2 myself, so like just keep an eye out for all of these different things and all of these different opportunities that go along with Ag Week. Olivia's worked really, really hard on it and is on that task force. So
They're selling them
Thank
some
you,
short.
Lily.
There will be live cows. There will be actual cows on campus. They pulled off an APF with live cows on campus. That's a major power move.
Thank you, y'all. Yes, we found out yesterday that the cows are officially approved. So come Monday, and then we'll also there are free things that I think everyone, equates Ag Week with free stuff. And this year is no exception. We have lots of good free stuff all week, and you can learn a lot about where your food comes from, ag in Indiana, ag across the country. Follow Purdue Ag Week on Instagram to learn a lot and get a lot of cool giveaways. So thank you for the shout out, guys. I really appreciate it.
Lillian, is that your pancake event?
Asada, you shouldn't have said that, but yeah, it's okay. Everyone ignore the pancake thing.
I meant to say soup event. Is that your soup event? I don't know. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I didn't know that was top secret. Exponent, you did not hear anything.
It's okay. It's just a money thing.
Okay. Is there any other announcements? Senator Stowe. Going to be free ice cream, Olivia? Unclear.
I know there's going to be free chips.
Free chips.
Yeah, free chips on Friday.
You can also get your free chips at court this week.
And we'll also have insomnia cookies, hopefully.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Any other announcements? Okay, I have a couple. The first one is, by the time we meet next, the 10 names that are being nominated for student trustee will have been decided. So April 17th, me, Asada, some graduate students, the governor's office, we get to interview everyone for like 8 hours. And so we will have the names submitted. So that process is wrapping up, and the new student trustee will be appointed, I think by June 1st. The next meeting is our last meeting, which means that it's also our transition meeting. So I know sometimes we have some fun legislation. We have the newly elected senators here. So we will have our meeting and with the swearing in of the new administration. And then I think typically after that pro temp elections occur. So if you're interested and are thinking about running for pro temp, also Alex or Olivia, whoever's elected, I will walk you through how to run those elections. So no worries there. And then lastly, like I said, we're going to have 2 special programming speakers, so just be prepared to come all in for this last meeting. Hopefully you all can make it. I'll probably send out some Google Forms to help collect and disseminate questions in that area, so more information from my end about that, and I'm sure also from Pro Tem Griffin Little about the transition.
So sorry, last thing, and this is not any tea like my last one. Board of Trustee presentation. Our final presentation to the board is on Friday if you would like to come and watch. We're talking about you all. It's not about Hannah and I, it's about everything you all accomplished this year. The first words that they said to us in the beginning of the year were, don't focus on COVID, don't do anything. You so happy. It's gonna be us bragging. So we have pictures, we have your legislation, taking a lot of what was put into the end of the semester report. And so again, that's good. Not submitted what you've been up to our senior policy advisor, please do that. But it's a great opportunity to meet the board and also what we're wrapping up and hear all of their feedback and critiques. So if you're available to come or you want to tune in online, just let me know.
Okay. Also on Friday, pick up your brunch box. We have 360, so everyone better be there.
It's from Sweet Revolution, so good, 12 to 2. Be there.
Okay. Seeing no other announcements, we'll move into Senate snaps. So if you have any snaps, you can go ahead and get started.
Okay, I never know how to shut up about the people I love, so we're just gonna keep rolling here. Amanda put on an amazing event with Leah today, their expo. I hope it went really well, but they put so much into that, and it was so awesome to get to see them do that.
I would like to give a snap to Patrick Baranski. For you new senators, y'all don't know, but Patrick, literally one of the kindest, sweetest human beings I know, and it made my heart so happy to see you here today.
Two. One. Yeah. Oh my God, Patrick. One is actually for Hannah. Congrats on UNC. And then second is Sammy. Congrats on passing your exams. We're gonna be teachers.
I would like to give a snap to everyone who wrote legislation today, because I just think I was really excited for this meeting to have a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of good things that we're doing. I'm glad it's not all at the last meeting. I'm glad it was good. It was good meeting. Good job on all your legislation.
I'd also like to give. She allowed us to get paid. Thanks, Elliot.
Snap to Emily Johnson first for being an amazing press secretary. Your transition into that position was so amazing. Your communication skills are phenomenal. Definitely yesterday she drove me to get my car from Frankfort, Indiana, because I got a flat on my way to Olivia's house for Easter, and she drove me there. She slid up on my story in a minute. I was like, God bless this angel. So thank you so much. And we were in the car, we were talking, and I was just looking at you, and I was like, I just hope our paths cross in the future, because your communication skills, again, are phenomenal.
Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial yet brave. I would like to give a snap to both Shannon and Alex. Olivia's not here, and neither is Tyler. But I know, believe me, I know how it goes, okay? And I've been around twice now, and it does take a lot out of you, and so you all are handling it so gracefully, and know that I'm thinking about you and sending you all the good vibes, because it can suck sometimes. So snaps to both tickets, and also senators who ran. It can be, the waiting game sucks, yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be snaps next meeting. She asked if there's gonna be snaps next meeting.
I'll give snaps.
Okay.
Snaps to Asada, who I memoed 4 times yesterday and said, "Can we talk on the phone, please?" So yeah, because usually Asada's the only one who memos me to you today. So thank you for coming up with me.
I love getting your voice memos too.
Yeah, that's part of my week.
I didn't know how to use voice memo before I met you.
Oh my God. And then it's all you do after.
Can voice memo be our forever?
Stop
it. I think that's hilarious.
Okay, any other snaps? Okay. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Senator Reed.
Madam President, I move we do now adjourn.
Okay. I'll count that as a second. All right, we'll attempt to take this vote by voice acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, this meeting is adjourned.